Good afternoon. We'll call the meeting to order and pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. Public comments, special presentation. PIMCC Report.
Hi, I'm Julia. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting one of the new commissioners. I had the intention of being there today, but I had to have almost like an emergency ankle surgery yesterday, so driving 4 hours up wouldn't have been something that I could do. So normally we come on site twice a year, and any other time, like I came July of last year prior to me departing from the company for 6 months. I came in July to meet with the nurse and help her kind of understand what we did. But a report was sent to the commissioners and to the warden this morning. And this is what we normally go over now. Since I am remote right now at home, I do not have your commission manual to show you, but we will be mailing that up to you. So the first thing on the agenda is the new commission manual. And it's an arms binder, and it has a bunch of papers that are able to be used by the medical department. It has our formulary for using a different pharmacy. The formulary that we have was designed by the clinic vendor pharmacy, but it's based on the market. So basically, if Diamond's getting it cheaper, Darling's is getting it cheaper. Normally it's based on the market, and we ask our prescribers to try to prescribe within the formulary. We get that in there. We have the up-to-date Compass application, or the Compass application screenshots are in there. We have a glossary with medical terms in there. So a bunch of different stuff. It's been worked on for about 2 or 3 years with CMP staff and PIMCC staff and CPAP, and it's been reviewed. So we will be mailing that up to you. So you guys should be getting it by the end of next week, hopefully, once we get it in the box and get it up to the mail. I would have brought it to you guys today, but of course I'm not up there today. So the second thing on the agenda we have is to go over the report, which is your outpatient and your inpatient clinics. I know this has been discussed probably when Kirsten and Charlene came up, but these repriced all your outpatient bills, and then all your inpatient bills are repriced at the current Medicaid rate, and then the county is due to reimburse Medicaid a fraction of the cost. So you guys can see that since it came up in December, you guys have a smaller report period here, so it's just December 2023 to March 2024. The county saved $36,183.05 in outpatient savings. And then you guys saved $951.89 in inpatient savings. The second part of the report that we bring at every spring meeting, where we do a 3-year total, and this is based on all PIMCC counties. So you can see the trend of PIMCC counties. Of course, you guys are going to be lower on this trend because you guys have a smaller population than some of our other prisons. But you can see that the 2023 cost per inmate per day was $11.84, with the 3-year average being $10.68. And then you guys can go to the next page and see that Warden County fell under that at $8.80. So you guys, like I said, you guys had less bills than like our bigger prisons that have maybe 200 or 300 people populations. The next page is a breakdown of the years since you've been in the PIMCC program. So starting in 2021, you guys get that, and then the renewal is in November. So you have the year-to-date. You guys are at $49,000 in savings, including November, but that was reported on the last report. So you guys can see in 2022, 2023, you guys saved $301,000, and then in 2021 to 2022, it was close to $300,000. So you guys saved a decent amount being in the program. On the county update in March, we share this even if you aren't utilizing utilizing the Diamond Pharmacy. Their optics department, which is filled with 6 pharmacists that are really top notch in certain areas of pharmacy, they put out this I don't know if it's quarterly or if it's monthly, but they put out this thing that gives you some up-to-date ways of prescribing. And the Optics Department did share in March, that I did share with Warden non-opioid medication suggestions for dental extractions, which should include ibuprofen 400 milligrams and acetaminophen 500 milligrams. And that is to be alternated on an alternating pattern. Only in rare circumstances should a low dose opioid be used, and it should only be used when there is bone involvement and or it's a more intense extraction, and it should only be used for 3 days. The Optics Department also did share a tool for treatment of stimulant use disorders. So that would include cocaine. An individual who uses cocaine as their drug of choice, methamphetamines, and amphetamines if they are abusing ADHD drugs. You guys had one COMPASS application, or one inpatient that needed a COMPASS application during this report period, and then there were no case management reviews during this report period. We do encourage you guys to share when you have a patient going to the hospital, because I can get up-to-date information about that patient. And that is helpful for either a release from custody or helpful to see if you guys can proceed on that. Now, if your medical department is having no problems with doing that, I'm not going to stop that, but I mean, that is another service we do offer. I just need to know the patient goes to the hospital. If you look at the medical department services, that includes your provider and your nurse. So what was billed is what was allowed. Your other physician services, that is any physician outside of the prison and or that see your inmates in the hospital. You guys saved $3,040.02. The other, if you see the chart that says me bill clinical pathology, the issue we're having with me bill clinical pathology is they send everything on a patient statement, so we are unable to reprice a patient statement. So when you put it in the other, you guys may eventually have to pay that claim if we get the proper paperwork. If we don't get proper paperwork, you guys won't pay that claim. Hospital services, you guys saved $28,765.39. Dental care, we didn't get any dental bills during this report period. Vision.
Can I just ask a question, Julia?
Yeah.
So when you look at hospital services and it says billed, which is the $38,929.79, and then the allowed is $10,164. Is the billed portion, is that actually the gross charge from the hospital?
Yes, that's the gross charge from the hospital, and then the allowed charge is the patient would have Medicare, that's what they would get reimbursed.
Right.
So Medicare would pay, we would price the bills at the current Medicare rate.
Right.
So for the services, that's what Medicare would have paid if the patient came in and was on Medicare.
Okay.
Radiology, you guys paid $3,979.31. And that, the only ones that are repriced are the ones that are provided at the hospital, as your diagnostic and X-ray services are the ones that come on site and are contracted rate. Your pharmacy, we didn't get every monthly pharmacy, we didn't get every month pharmacy, so this isn't from December to March. We only got 3 pharmacies, and so these are just what you guys paid for those 3 pharmacies. You guys saved $395.55 for 3 BLS transports. And then you guys saved $2.58 on a DMS carb split. And then the last page is the inpatient savings. So it was Warren Medical Group saw a patient at the hospital, charged them $1,709. PHS paid $277.06, and then the county reimbursed DHS at $127.11. So that's what gave you guys the $951 savings. One other thing we wanted to talk about is we have been, on how the county, can save money. And so me and Kristen have been talking, and we didn't know if the county would be interested in utilizing BioReference. BioReference is a PIMCC lab, is the PIMCC vendor lab, where you can draw labs on site, and then you send them to the BioReference lab via FedEx, and then you get your results within a day or two. I'll say with that, if you're sending patients to the hospital to get lab work, one thing I can think of is a CBC with differential. When you send them to the hospital and you get that bill, the CBC with differential is $10.58. If you send it through BioReference, it's like $2.53. So that's a way that the county could save money if, in fact, the medical department's comfortable with drawing blood or can draw blood on site, and they're comfortable with spending it on site, and they're comfortable with sending it. So that would be a way. BioReference is significantly cheaper for running laboratory, for running labs. So that would be a way that the county could save additional money. But that's all we have for you guys. We did ask, we were asked, it looks like you guys do have a on-site radiology, which is something you can save money on and sending them for simple x-rays. And then you guys are not utilizing the lab, so we figured we'd bring that up to show how it's a comparison that you can save money doing on-site labs as long as your med department is comfortable with doing that.
And how much have we spent on labs?
So on
On the
that,
report, yes.
so you can see, you go to the line in the hospital. You can see, you guys had 18 people who went out for labs. What was billed was $3,730, $3,073.31. You guys spent $523.30. Now what I'm saying is you could maybe have only spent $200 and they're going to take them out to the hospital. We also look at, like, you would save money going with BioReference no matter what, because we cannot reprice for Medicare as cheap as BioReference can. But it also, the manpower you have to pay to take them down, or whoever you have to contract to take them down to the hospital to get the lab work. Again, it's something that could help you guys save, but the medical department has to be comfortable with doing it, and you have to be able to, you have to be willing to do that, and they would have to do it on site. And then, of course, like I said, you wouldn't have to have correctional officers and or the sheriff's department come and take the individual to the hospital to get it done.
And when you're referencing medical department, are you that's referencing the jail's medical department?
Yes, the jail's medical. Because I don't want to speak for the nurses. I mean, I as an RN was never taught how to draw blood, but now because I work in home health, I know how to draw blood. As an RN, when I was in my RN program, we are not taught vein puncture. We're taught to put an IV in. LPNs are taught vein puncture, but RNs are not taught vein puncture. Because if you're in the hospital, the only place you're going to draw blood is the ER and the ICU. Everybody else is going to use the body. So I don't want to speak on behalf of the nurse, or on behalf of your practitioner to say that this has to happen. They have to be comfortable and willing to do this on site, but it would save the county money doing on-site labs versus sending them out to the hospital.
Currently, we don't send them out, the hospital sends a lab tech over.
Okay.
Oh, you guys don't even done, if you guys don't, I thought you guys sent them out. So if they send a lab tech over, then, I mean, your bill probably would have been less than BioReference, but, I mean, they're not gonna send a lab tech from the hospital to draw blood for you to send it to BioReference.
Right.
So at this point, I mean, without seeing, I don't have your report in front of me because it had patients' names on it and I'm at my house, so I don't have anything with HIPAA compliant stuff at my home. So I can see what, if you want to see an apples to apples comparison of what you guys spent to what it would have been with BioReference, I can do that to see if it would be a savings, but I mean, I don't think $593 when it was when the gross charge was 3,000 was too bad.
No.
But I do believe that it would be cheaper with fire records, but how cheaper, I don't know, without knowing what it was actually for in front of me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions or concerns, you can let me know. Other than that, I will bow out.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
And again, sorry, hopefully I can come up in the fall.
Have a
Good
good day.
day, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Next order of business, approval of minutes from the February 27th, 2024 meetings. When you have them in your packet. Discussion.
I'll move to approve.
Motion to approve, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, motion carries. Finance report. We have
No, never mind.
old business. Do we have any old business?
If you want me to go down through a list of things that I had to follow up on from the last meeting. We've been looking for quotes for nurses or for, different medical program. I did get one quote back and forwarded it out. It was quite expensive. I don't know if everybody got a chance to look at that or not. I spoke with Lonnie about the possibility of changing that aspirin 4 times a day to 3 times a day. He's not opposed to that. That would help us out a lot also, especially with thinking of the future of Title 37 changing. But Lonnie brought up a great point. Even if you switch to Medpass 3 times a day, if it's mandated that the correctional officers can't hand out medication, it has to be either an RN or an LPN to hand out meds. You would almost still have to have them there 24/7 because of PRNs if somebody has needed medication to get outside of the scheduled times. So it can get quite costly. So we'll keep doing homework and prepare for that. So we'll let everybody know that.
There's nothing creative currently that's going on in any of the jails our size that we
Everybody's,
have the same boat.
yeah, and most of them are just getting the nursing staff, 24/7 nursing staff. A lot of people are trying to be creative with different things, and it's very difficult. Other than contracting with a local, which is tough because even like more general, they're hurting for nurses. Everybody's hurting.
Well, that's
so.
the thing, you're just picking away at everybody else getting care.
Yeah. Hitting on some more of the old business, jumping out of the medical side, our kiosks that we got the grant for in the lobby for people coming in and out of the jail to register in. They are in. They are up and running, but they're not in service yet. They installed them. They gave us the passwords to log on to them. They look pretty neat, but we have to have the training on that and then put them in effect. But so far, we had a meeting with sergeants to show them how it's going to look and how it's going to work. And so far, they're working like as sold. So that would be a great addition. The project in the control room of fixing the doors, the locking. I think that turned out to be a bigger project for the company than they originally expected. They've got all the old panel out, new panel in, so it's all up to date, touch screen. But they still have to come back to finish the project. They still have a lot of things to clean up. And,
Is that the company that was on the page?
yeah. They haven't finished the original project yet. So they said they need some more parts for one of the doors. But the control panel's working well. We have different options to adjust timing and whatnot. So I'll update everybody as that comes on. They contacted Bill Gallagher, and he hasn't heard when they are coming back to finish the project yet. So yard roof, that project is complete. Everybody saw that. That company was fantastic to work with.
Did they come back and move the wire on the top that you wanted moved? Okay.
Everything's finished. and the sheriff can speak on how they worked with him with courthouse security wise, but I know as far as security wise with us, it was, they were true professionals. They knew what they were doing and knew what it took to come in and out of jail setting, so.
Now you wanted to change that window that was there. Did you end up doing that? Okay.
Yep. And if you guys would like to see it again, you're more than welcome to come over. It's great.
I'm good. One of those was not for me.
And that's what I have on the old business.
I just wanted to touch on the body cameras and stuff. I did initiate the contract with Motorola Solutions. They will be coming in May to install the in-car cameras, everything. And they said the body cameras and the system should be up and operational by the 5th of June.
Did we get a P Corp grant for that?
No, that was the commissary, and I wrote a grant that I haven't heard back if I got or not. So we were doing the 5 payment installment over a 5-year period or whatnot, just to ease up on everything. So I'm going to keep at the grant ready to try to minimize as much as we can.
They said P Corp, it was eligible for P Corp.
I don't know. They didn't tell me that. So the grant that I did was the rural and tribal small grant. It was up to like $20,000. So.
New business. Trinity Agreement.
Everybody received a copy of the Trinity Agreement. We are down, and I printed off what I submitted to the commissioners. We are down a county employee, and in the past, a county employee from the kitchen leaves. They were replaced by Trinity staff. Trinity has given us an addendum to the contract, showing the difference in the pricing, what it would increase to for them to bring on another shop, and we're breaking it down, breaks down to 55 cents per meal. You can see on there how I broke it down to how many meals per year, how it breaks down, and the difference between Trinity hiring an employee and us hiring an employee is it's almost the same.
How is it goes to that on your end? Like, so if you hired someone on your end that you would have more control, where if you had Trinity hire them?
How is Trinity doing?
I think we're doing well. We have the new kitchen supervisor in there that is very mindful and follows exactly their policies and they to the T.
Okay.
If we have an issue with special diet, our nurse is in contact with the kitchen supervisor, we told the dietitian, and they work it out. I mean, without going into too much detail, it's a process, and it's nice to have that dietitian on that side of things too. I feel like it's an extra layer of protection for the county.
We have a 3-year agreement with them? I don't know.
I can't remember how long it is,
Maybe.
but I don't have a full agreement.
Okay, that's fine. Is there any competition out there at this point, or are they pretty much?
There is, we went with Trinity originally, because we met with three others, three
Okay.
total.
Okay.
And talking out of jails, and Trinity was the best option.
I think once they bid out, I think one other was gonna bid and they didn't. I think Trinity was the only one that submitted a bid when it was bid out at the time.
There was another one I thought also good, but their quality of their food wasn't as, they had a lot of fillers in the food. And so that's why they can make theirs a little cheaper as opposed to quality that Trinity has.
With the mystery meat, is the quality, that's
no,
quality?
I don't know. But see, this is a
Just
perfect
curious.
example why I like having a dietitian, because, if we have these special diets of religion or whatnot, they know exactly what to do and when people are supposed to be eating it and whatnot. I would like to, present this to everybody, so the commissioners can decide if they want to continue with this or not. The liability wise of having Trinity, I think, is a lot better. somebody gets mushrooms in their food, they're not supposed to get mushrooms, that's, you know,
Sorry.
I mean, it's very self-explanatory, so.
So the rest of your recommendation is to continue with Trinity?
Well, I mean, I think the only decision we're making now is whether we want to move
The new cook position, right?
the amendment to the agreement for the new
Oh.
position. That's what we're looking at right now. So I'm sorry I took you down the rabbit hole, I was just thinking
No, you're fine.
holistically, but, yeah, I mean, I think your analysis here makes absolute sense and it, you know.
Of course, if you look at it too, there's like the sliding scale of it, you know, population goes up, you pay less per meal, population goes down, you pay more per meal, but that's the rough average.
Okay.
So,
So was that your motion to move it forward?
I will make a motion to amend the food service agreement to include the cook that was formerly the county employee. Allow Trinity to manage that person.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, discussion.
Real quick discussion, and I think Tricia touched on this a little bit, or no, I think you said, with regards to your authority over the chef, even though they're employed by someone else, you still have full authority with regards to safety, security, and things like that?
absolutely, if we have an issue with any of their employees, I have their 4 line supervisors that are out of the office, and we've had an issue before, and I just call them, tell them, pulling their security clearance, and that guy was out, and they had a replacement the next day, they had a traveler in there.
And they were screened prior to coming in?
Absolutely, we do background checks on all of them. Yeah, they have their own employment background check, and then we do with the contractor check that we did with any other vendors. Perfect.
The motion is second, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Warden's report.
Everybody received a copy of the report.
Oh, we can tell us our census looking.
We had 99 to start the day today, and we did have 2 releases and 2 new intakes. So, okay. Sorry. Oh, no, 3 new intakes, probation also. Seems like a lot of fines and costs are coming in recently. Going through the report, everybody.
So that's the prison administrative revenue for, is that fines and costs?
No,
Oh.
the revenue that'll deal with, like, the booking fees.
Oh.
They may benefit, that's through the commissary.
Okay. That's the commissary.
Community service, I always keep an eye on that because I always like to see our work release inmates getting out and helping the community and plus taking their community service hours down. We already have things set up with, a lot of the ones that are on there, you can see the cemeteries, a lot of the outside things, the weather's changed, we have several that are set up and ready to go.
Let's see if you're looking for projects, there's always the bike trail, crash cleanup.
Okay. I'll get that done. Do we just have them, is there a committee on that, or is it we just have them?
It used to be Special Olympics that clean up along there, and then, because somebody didn't do it anymore, lack of client volunteers. The outdoor club trims the trees that overhang the trail, and then the township picks up the, but they do that just once a year. But regular cleanup on picking up trash and so forth, there's not a lot, usually everybody's pretty good at using. Yeah, usually.
Conservation District usually always has projects that we benefit.
Okay. I know once the weather changes, I mean, you guys can see the list. You also can see the list that we have for community service on there. That should be pretty full.
Oh, okay.
And they go to the cemeteries and townships. We're always willing to work with others.
Yeah.
We have the people available. A lot of our work release, if they have a day off of work, they will have some community service. So I think that's a great idea.
Has anybody attempted to reach reach out to Oswego River. I know they have a new director.
Yeah.
Ms. Colas is no longer
Yeah,
there.
since this report, they're sending this month already, so.
I think she's still there, she's training.
Yeah, we have a new contact there
Yeah, she's
that,
on the bar, she's.
we've been sending.
Okay,
They forced her.
I was just curious if anybody made contact with the new director.
Yeah.
Are you looking for additional opportunities for community service?
Always looking.
Okay.
But, you know, I don't want to disappoint anybody either. Some people, they'll call us for workers and we might not have available that day. They're already scheduled to go to someplace else. And plus, I don't want, you know, they work for nonprofits, they get community service. I don't want people to consider them as employees and use them, take advantage of the situation either. You know, we're not going to hire somebody because we can get an inmate worker to come do that. I don't want to see that turn into. That's been teetered with some companies in the past. That's why I like to see the community service aspect of it more.
You might want to check too with Brenda and Mary, see if they need any help with placing flags Memorial Day in the cemeteries. I know most of them are covered, but maybe they have a few that they're kind of orphaned. Just a thought.
Yep. Yeah, I will.
And do you send a corrections officer with these people for community service? Or they just there on that?
Yeah, they get into more detail where,
Yep.
yeah, they're able to go out and work on their own, so their work release inmates where they know special work details. So they're a little risky things, so.
I don't know if you have agreements in place with the people you offer the volunteers, but if you put one in place if you want to.
We do, all the inmates have to sign a waiver.
Yeah.
They heard everything before they go out, so. Staffing wise, we're in the middle of interviews. We have had 4 so far, and we've got several more to go. So we have people putting applications in, fill some spots, so that's good.
Seems like the labor market has turned around quite a bit just now.
The tough part, you know, it's not like we can just hire somebody and you're an officer. You know, they have a lot of hours of training that they have to do before they're cleared. And unfortunately, it seems like as soon as we get somebody cleared, somebody leaves, and it's the same process.
And they're all going to the same places, right? They're all going to the whatever, Marionville or whatever.
Well, not necessarily. Some just only work in corrections. It's when you have different issues with feces on the wall or dealing with different things, some people just, I get it, you know. However, next month we have academy, so 3 officers will be there for the month.
That's a year.
Yeah, yep, still here.
Everything else?
Any questions, Mark?
I have a motion to approve the warden's report.
So moved.
A motion second.
Second.
A motion second, discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Capital items, do we have any capital items?
Should we take that off our agenda, given that, I mean, we asked for that during the budget season, and I know it used to be there because there was such a nightmare over there, I just don't know.
That would be the elevators and different.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the major capital things.
That's it.
Now for the capital, it's more of replacing computers, when it's not an elevator that went down or a furnace or.
Well, that would have to be done in an emergent situation anyway, so I guess.
I still think we should have it on there, just a list periodically, if little things do come up, at least it has a section of the line named, so.
Announcements. Anybody have any announcements? Next meeting will be June 25th, 2024. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Executive session, do you figure out we need to have an executive session?
No, we don't need to, but I can just pass on why we were going to.
I was gonna say, it said yes here, okay.
Yeah, well, we put on yes, just because I thought I'd have a report from somebody ahead of time.
We can do a quick executive session real quick.
Yeah,
It's just-
we're